Hi, I'm Becca. I'm the Youth and Schools Worker at Carshalton Beaches Baptist Church. And this week we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to start looking at the big story of the Bible. Now, I don't know about you, but I love the Bible. I think it's exciting and amazing. It's the inspired word of God. It's even described as being alive and active. I don't think you can say that about many different books. But equally, I don't know about you, but at times I can find the Bible confusing and long. I can find it difficult to understand where individual stories fit with this big picture. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about the 4 big parts of the Bible that help us tell the whole story. For me, understanding the big story, the overarching narrative of the Bible is really helpful. It helps me understand how those stories that you might read about in Sunday school fit with this big picture of the Bible. Did you know the Bible is made up of 66 individual books, and all of them help play a part in telling the story of the relationship that God has with humankind? I think that's pretty awesome. So, where better to start than in the beginning? So if we flick open the Bibles and open up Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, we start by reading this. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We then go on to read this description, this beautiful description of how God created the universe and everything in it. We get this picture of the stars being flung into the sky, of the earth and the waters being separated, of the seas and the skies being filled with fish and birds. And after each stage, after each process, God declares that his creation is good. And towards the end of this passage, we reach the pinnacle, the high point, the best bit, the bit that God's probably most proud of. Because at this point, God creates humanity. He creates people. And he doesn't just create them maybe like he's created the rest of creation, but he does something different here. Humans are made in God's image. He makes something about us distinct and different from everything else that he'd created up until this point. And with humanity, God doesn't just say we're good, he says we're very good. So the Bible opens with this: the world being created and designed by God. Everything that we see around us in the natural world was dreamed up and designed by God. God then makes humankind, and he makes them special in his image. And this is great. This is a great picture of the world that we might live in. But what does this tell us about who we are and about who God is? Well, firstly, number 1, it tells us that creation is actually amazing and really cool and really good. You see, God created out of a place of love and of care. He didn't create because he was angry or frustrated. The picture that we get of creation being good and humankind being very good shows that God values and cares about his creation. It means that the world we live in is special and wonderful and beautiful. Number 2, it tells us that humanity, humankind, we're important, we're valuable. That means every single person that you've ever met, you will ever meet, you'll ever read about or hear about is made in God's image. We have something that makes us distinct and special. It means that all of us, no matter how old, how young, where we grew up, where we live now, how rich or poor we are, how smart or not we are, we can all have a relationship with God, and we are all really important and really valuable. Thirdly and lastly, it tells us that the relationship that humankind has with God is important and special. It means that this relationship that we can have with God is really important to God, and it can be really important to us too. So this is part 1. This is where things kick off. This is creation. Tune back in next week and you'll get part 2. If you want to keep in the loop, why not subscribe to our channel, and then you can see everything that we're doing. Bye!